Hello guys, Luke here and welcome back to the channel. As you can see today I am in my studio. Or am I? All jokes and tricks aside guys, today's video is to show you actually how to use your green screen that you've acquired. So say you've bought a green screen and you actually want to now use it to replace backgrounds of your videos. I can show you how to do that in software. I'll be showing you two ways of replacing your background. One will be OBS, so Open Broadcaster software. Using this method you will be able to replace your background live as you record it. The second method I'll be showing you is actually to record your video with a green background first, and then in post editing, such as like in Premiere Pro, you can replace your background after the fact that you've recorded your video. Okay guys, here we are met with a familiar site. We have OBS Classic open here. I prefer OBS Classic over OBS Studio just because of its clean look. But anyway, I've removed everything out of OBS Classic. I usually have my monitor capture and everything set up here, but I'm going to show you from scratch how to set up a green screen capture. We're going to first go into sources here, right click, go add, and go video capture device. Now this will be your, whatever you're using as a camera, so your webcam, your camera through a capture card or anything. I am actually using my Sony RX100 Mark III via a capture card, so I'm going to be selecting my AVerMedia U3 video capture card in my device settings here, because as I said, my camera is plugged in through HDMI through this device. If you guys are doing your own green screen capture, if you have a webcam, that's probably the easiest way to actually do this. So just choose your webcam in this list here of devices when setting up your green screen. Without touching any other settings so far, we're just going to click OK, and we're going to preview the stream. So this will just show our camera capture at the moment. So there you have it guys, you can see me, you're viewing me through my Sony RX100 Mark III right now. As you can see, I've got the green screen behind me. So far there's no background replacement as of yet, but that's what I'm going to show you next. So I'm now going to show you method one of replacing your background for your video. So that is going to be simply recording background replacement live as you're recording your game or whatever you're doing. For this method, we're just going to need our video capture device in our list here, and you are going to need your game capture. So simply choose whatever game that you're running. You can select from this list here. Anyway, I'm not going to be adding a game because then you'll see a repeat of this capture like over and over through your screen, like a mirror effect, so we're not going to be doing that. To actually replace your background now, it's in OBS, it's quite simple. You just right click on your device, so video capture device, go to properties, opens up this window yet again. You have down here chroma key settings. So in OBS Studio, this will look a bit different. I think the area to get to this setting is a little different. But you can look that up if you need to look it up on Google or whatever. But in OBS Classic, it's simply under chroma key down here. And we're going to simply click this box now, use chroma key. And you can see how the camera footage has now gone a little bit weird. My pupils seem to have darkened a lot. I don't know why. My eyes are usually green, now they're black. Not sure why that is. It makes me look really stoned or something. Oh, my teeth look weird as well, jeez. Okay, so we're going to be changing this. First we have to choose a color. So whatever background color that your green screen is, you can get blue screens, green screens, different colors. But we're using obviously a green screen today, so we're going to want to select our color. Now you're simply going to once you click select, you're going to have this this selector tool. You're going to simply select somewhere in the background where it's probably the most green. So I'm going to select up top here. And again, you can see how it's gone really strange. But don't worry, we're going to fix it up now. So under our chroma key options here, we have similarity. So similarity is selecting how similar colors that are being replaced are to the color that you've selected. So we're going to increase this feature here. You can do this either by actually typing directly into this field. So you can type in 100, 200, 300, and so forth. You can see how 300 is actually close to what we want here. But anyway, we're going to be just adjusting this via the arrow here, the arrows, because this is a more finite, exact way of actually getting it correct. We're basically going to increase this value until it actually starts replacing colors that aren't quite green. So I know it's a bit hard to explain, but you can see how around my hair now, you can actually see how it's still a little green. I'm going to keep increasing this. Okay, so now you can see how the chair behind me is getting a bit weird there. So we're going to decrease this value once again. Decrease, decrease. Okay, that's pretty much perfect there. Okay, so as you can see now, we've pretty much completely replaced our green screen background. Obviously you can see how the edges of my hair are still a tiny bit green. So to kind of fix the trouble with hair, I mean, green screen capture always has trouble with hair. It's best to actually wear a hat or a beanie or something when recording green screen, because then it's got a hard edge that it can cut out from the background. For example here, I'll quickly slap on my beanie here. So as you can see, once I put on a beanie, you can see how you can't see green edges around my hair. If you actually look closer at my eyebrows, you can actually still see there's a tiny bit of green on it. It just doesn't like hair for some reason, not sure. I'll take it back off and you can see how we've got our problem again with the green around the hair. Anyway, getting back to our chroma key settings down here. If you go to blend, basically this will try and counteract that problem that I have with the hair. So if we increase this value here, you can see how as I increase, it's trying to get rid of that green edge. It's trying to blend the edges basically. It's trying to make it blur the edges a little bit to get rid of that green edge. But as you can see, it starts to make everything else a bit fuzzy and hazy. So we're not going to be playing much. We'll just set that back to 80. For now. And spill reduction, this also has something to do with that as well. Let's increase this and see what happens. For some reason it starts putting a red tinge around our hair, so we're going to leave this at default values as well, which is 50. Okay, so now that we've fiddled with the chroma key settings in OBS Classic, you can see how I've added a source here called your game. I'm not actually going to run a game in the background while doing this. I'll just run, I've just put a still image there. So basically this is the first way of setting up your green screen in OBS. So basically once you have your green screen camera over the top of your game, you'll want to obviously resize your camera here like so, like down the bottom here, resize the box a little bit, and there we have it. So just pretend that the background here is your game with your camera over it. So this is how you can basically replace your background. And now you're recording, now you can simply hit record in this OBS and you'll simply have your face over the game in the background. Anyway, this is the first way of recording. The second way I'm going to show you is actually my favorite way of recording green screen, and actually what I use in most of my videos as well. So the second method of recording green screen face cam for your games or whatever you're doing, repeat the steps that you did before just to set up your video capture source, but then we're going to right click in sources, go add an image and just leave it called image. Let's move it down here. So for this method, it requires that you actually create a JPEG or PNG file of an actual green screen. So simply you can open Paint or anything like that, any picture editing tool, and just create a file that's just green. You can see here I've created a PNG green screen file. It's 1920 by 1080 because most of my videos are recorded in 1080p anyway. And I've just simply made I've filled in the whole picture just with a green. So we're going to select that file. Yeah, as I said, it's very easy to make. Just open Paint or something like that and create a file that is just green. It really doesn't matter what shade green, because I'll show you in a bit why that doesn't really matter. And now you can see we have a green image behind our cam at the moment. Now this is actually how you will be recording your face cam. Now I didn't mention at the start of this method, but this method actually requires you to run 2 copies of OBS. So the idea is that you have this copy of OBS open with your face cam and green screen background, and then you have another OBS instance open with your game in it, and in editing you can actually splice them together later in editing. This is all you'll need to start recording your face cam. Simply, you know, as usual, choose your microphone in audio options like I have here, whatever microphone you use. Record your face cam, then with this file you can then in Premiere Pro get rid of the background and put the game behind your face cam again. So I'll be showing you now how that works. Okay guys, now I have Premiere Pro open. We just have a blank slate. The general idea is we're going to put our face cam video file with the green screen behind it with our game file, the game video file that we've recorded. So, but for the purpose of this video, I haven't actually recorded gameplay to put my face over it. I'll just be using a picture, but the editing process will be the same for whether you've got a game or a static image behind the cam. Anyway, without further ado guys, let's import our video first. We're going to click in import media here, and you're going to want to select your file. So we've got here our green screen file we recorded before, and there we go, and we're going to drag it to the timeline. To actually replace the green background of your video, you're going to want to go over to the project window again, but click on the effects tab, and in the search bar type in color key. There'll only be one option here, just color key, simple as that. You're going to want to drag this option onto your video. So we're going to drag that like so, onto our video file here, and you can see how the FX tab here has become purple. That means we've applied an effect to the video. Now that we've applied an effect, we need to adjust that effect, of course. Nothing's actually happened yet. All we've done is actually add the effect to the video. Now you're going to want to go up to the source window here and click on Effect Controls, and you can see now we've got color key in here in our effects list. Now we're going to do what we did in OBS, basically the same thing. We're going to click our little eyedropper tool here, click the green background like so, and you can see now we've already almost replaced our background straight away. Now we just need to adjust it a little bit. We've got our color tolerance and edge thin adjustments here, so we're going to be wanting to use both. So the color tolerance adjustment is very similar to the similarity adjustment in OBS. Pretty much does the same thing. So we're going to simply click and hold on this option here, and we're going to drag it. And you can see how if we watch our video file here, oh, we've gone too far. See how it starts to remove other colors from the video. So we're going to back it off a little bit. And we'll probably leave it about there. See how I've left it with a little bit of a green edge around? That's because our second option here, edge thin, is actually going to remove a slight bit of edge to our whole face cam here. So we're going to set that simply to 1. Go enter. And oh, we've still got a bit of green there. We're going to adjust this a little bit more. Probably just up over 100. There we go. So I've set it to about 120. It'll be different depending on your green screen setup as well. It's not simply values you can borrow from someone and just plug in yourself. It's going to be different for every green screen, because obviously my lighting is going to be different to your lighting, things like that. Anyway, we've got our background now replaced. Now we've just got black behind our background. That's because we need to now put our game behind it. Now for the purpose of this video, I'm simply going to use a static image as our background here, but we want the so-called gameplay behind our video file. To do that, we're going to simply go to the timeline here and lift our video up 1 level so that we've got a gap. That's because we're going to put our gameplay underneath our face cam so that the face cam file is over the top of the gameplay. So we're just going to drag that in and drag that to the length of the video. So now we've just got our static image behind our face cam, just our wooden background that I like the look of, basically. Obviously now you'll want to adjust the size of your face cam, so we're going to adjust the scale here to say 45%. Double click, drag that to the bottom or wherever you like it, and voila, you've got your face cam file over the top of your gameplay. So that is the second method of recording your green screen face cam over the top of your games or whatever you're recording. And that is basically it for this video, guys. I hope you did enjoy this video, and I hope that this helped. If it did, leave a like down below, subscribe for more content like this, and I will see you guys around the channel. Alright, have a good one.